Hello and welcome to Ed's Eats. I'm Ed McFarland, the chef owner of Ed's Lobster Bar. Today we're going to make one of my favorite dishes, lasagna. One of my favorite things growing up was being in the kitchen with my grandmother and my mother with the leftover meat sauce that we made on Sundays and making a fresh lasagna. Nothing better. So I have all my ingredients laid out for the lasagna today. I have my pasta sheets rolled and cut already. I have the sausage, the meatballs, everything is all chopped up and ready to go. The mozzarella is grated. Everything is here. You want to get everything all together before you start to do this. Let's get started. The first part in the process is going to be mixing all the meat back in with the sauce. Here we go. So I have a large mixing bowl, and you'll see that the ingredients, I really rough chopped everything. I want to have big chunks in my lasagna. I want to have the different flavors. I don't want it all ground up, big chunks. And then when you cut it, you see all the different meats and every bite is a different flavor. That's important to me. I'm going to say it again. Every bite is a different flavor. You really get all the nuance of everything you did and all the hard work that went into making your meat sauce. And once again, you can make your own style meat sauce. It doesn't have to be mine. Make it the way you like it. Mix it all together. Just follow the steps. We're gonna get a nice mix here on the meat. All the ingredients, get it all nice and jumbled up. Like I said, for me, it's important that it's nice and chunky and not ground up. I really like to taste the different meats in each bite. So our next step here is to coat the bottom of the pan with sauce. So you notice this is a little bit thinner than the sauce that I use mixed with the meat. I thinned it out a little bit to keep it from burning on the bottom of the pan when we're baking in the oven. So we can mix it around like that. And we're going to take our sheets and we're going to layer them, and we're actually going to make sure that they overlap so there's no space. And you'll see pre-rolling them to the size that you need makes this very easy. And I'm going to put just one right across the middle in the bottom, just to make sure that we don't have any space there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get another really thin layer of sauce, just coating the top of the pasta before we start to layer the cheese and meat. So one of the things you'll see, and it's a big difference with people, is some people like to use a bechamel as opposed to using ricotta and mozzarella. That's another great way to do this. I think it comes a little lighter to use the ricotta and mozzarella as opposed to using a bechamel. And a bechamel is a flour, cream, and cheese mixture, so essentially making another sauce before you make the dish. So how I like to start now is we're going to take our meat, have the mozzarella, the ricotta, we have our tray, we have our meat, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just really take nice scoops of meat and flatten them down a little bit as I put it in to the tray. I want to make sure that we have enough space to layer. Smells good. I could say it smells almost as good as me, but you'll edit that out anyway. This guy's got to have a sense of humor here. Don't be so serious, David. So once we have a nice even layer across the bottom of the tray, spread this out, flatten it out, fill up any holes that we may have missed. We're gonna knock chunks of ricotta down in here. We're going to, after we finish the ricotta, we're going to sprinkle the mozzarella cheese across the whole layer. Now we're going to get ready for our next layer of pasta. So following the same steps, thin layer of sauce, we go right back to our meat mixture. I'm going to press that down again. So this is a recipe that I learned growing up, and it's a great use of leftovers. Especially, you know, when you make a meat sauce, you're cooking for a lot of people generally. It's the whole family's coming over on Sundays, and you know, you tend to make a lot of food. Make sure you don't put the bone in there. I have a little piece of bone, so you definitely don't want any bone in your lasagna to break somebody's tooth and you think you want to kill them. And we, you know, it was a great activity. It's a family activity. You have this leftover meat sauce. Everybody enjoyed eating, and then you just got together, made lasagna, and you know, this was snacks all week long, and I'm a big person who likes to eat snacks. Snack's a word you'll hear me say all the time. So we're back to the next step. Ricotta cheese. You know, I consider almost every food a snack, especially when you have leftovers, because it's sitting in the refrigerator. You just cut a little piece out, and I mean, to me, cold lasagna is delicious. You may not agree with that, but I could eat this right out of the refrigerator all day and every day. And you know, a little piece every day till it's gone. And then you're starting all over again next Sunday. I mean, what's better than this? You got cheese, ricotta cheese, mozzarella cheese, pasta, meatballs, sausage, veal. You know, one of the things that really is making this lasagna special today is DiPaolo's mozzarella and ricotta cheese. DiPaolo's is a favorite of mine in Little Italy in New York City. I think that their cheese is far superior. It's one of the best products you can get. So we're ready to do our top layer of lasagna. Last row of pasta. You'll see our tray is completely full. I've used up all the meat that I've had. So, you know, if you have more meat, you have less meat, use a smaller tray, make more layers, make less layers. So make sure our top is completely covered. So I ripped the pasta sheet just to get it in there, coat it. And here, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take a spatula so I can really press it so we get a good layer here. Just kind of pat it down a little bit before we put the sauce on top and bake it. So we're gonna make sure that we do a nice coating of sauce on top. And then once we've completely coated it with sauce, we're gonna go in the oven and bake. So this is probably gonna take about 45 minutes to an hour in the oven, 350 to 400 degrees. You want it to get nice and crusty on top and bubbling around the sides. So, and I'm looking at this lasagna perfection right now. Look at this, it looks beautiful. I'm ready to sink my teeth into it. I got a nice glass of red wine. I'm ready to go. Let's get a little cut in here and get a taste. Look how soft the noodles are, the cheese. If you break this apart, you see I have the different chunks of meat in here. This is perfect. Oh. This is definitely the best one, hands down. I'm calling my mother right now. She's got to come take lessons from me.